Hey everyone, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. Today we look at Nanbaka episode 18. So I have issues with this episode in several places, but for the most part, what we got here was we got some characters' backstories, namely Goku and his brother, and I think his name's Enku, I think. And also, at the same time, we get to see some other people that were involved in this whole incident and what's going on, who's the mastermind behind everything. But yeah, I'll talk about my issues as I get to them because there are like three issues I had with the episode, three main issues. One of them is really stupid. Two of them are more so with the episode in general, so I'll save those for the last part. Anyways, so from last week's episode, we saw them sliding down. Of course, Jugo and his rest of his gang, and they're all sliding down. They end up meeting the other two inmates from Prison 13, or I think it's is it Prison 13 or Prison number 5? I always forget. But they end up escaping with them, essentially trying to figure out what exactly is going on, because for the most part they don't really know what's going on. They understand that the brother has escaped, and they are telling them, hey, listen, that's the reason for a lot of things. They explain also the background for a lot of the brother and why he was the way he was, etc. They talk about these new enemies that we see but really don't get that well introduced to, which is these guys that walk around with talismans on their face and are apparently just meant to kill people, etc. But really, the whole thing though kind of climaxes, for this part at least, for them talking about Enku, who apparently is a scumbag. Like, he used to attack the prisoners in the Chinese prison just because he wanted to get stronger, and he didn't want any other reason. Like, he wasn't angry, he wasn't pissed off at them. They didn't misbehave or anything like that. Nah, he did that just because he wanted to outsurpass everyone else, and that, like, he used them as the one guy said, training W's to kind of just practice his moves and stuff like that. But he is the mastermind behind the whole thing. He's the one that's called. Sorry, I had to cut it there for a second, but Enku is the cause for everything. He's actually being helped by one of the prison guards and stuff like that, which you'll see later. But here's where I start having issues with one part of the episode. So you see here that Enku appears behind Goku, and I know Goku's not his real name, but I just like calling him that because he's trying to be Son Goku, essentially. He breaks his rod there, right? And then next image, hey, his rod's been repaired. Whoa, that's a magic rod. Holy shit. I'm sorry, I hate when stuff happens like that in shows because it's very odd to me when stuff like that happens. I don't mind if it's like a small little detail, but when stuff like that happens, that's not forgivable. But more so, this is where I also had another issue with the episode, where this was actually happening in the past. Like, this happened while Hajime had already been captured, and the thing is, the Hajime talks with Son Goku of sorts, about how he was captured by his brother, because now they're both in prison because they got captured, of course, obviously, from last week's episode. But we also learn why he hates Hajime so much from the inmates at one point, or more so from Enku, excuse me. Now I'm fusing the names together. But he learns from Enku that Hajime actually stopped Enku when he broke out originally, and that's got him promoted, of course, but the brother didn't do anything, so that kept him at the same level. That's why he hates him so much. Now, meanwhile, they're still escaping, the rest of the gang, Jugo, Nico, Uno and stuff. They're escaping still. They're still trying to figure out what exactly they're going to do. They decide to kind of look for the guards because they realize if they escape on their own, they're going to be kind of meshed in with everyone else and be like, oh, hey, you're escaping with everyone else, so you're probably one of the causes for this. So he's like, no, we can't do that. We have to have the guards with us. And then this scene happens when they meet the other inmates, and Uno hits him in the head like that. It's like, or not Uno, excuse me. That was actually the I forgot the guy's name. I always forget his name. The one of the Chinese prisoners. He hits him in the head, and his eyes pop out of his head. Like, that's so stupid. This episode was just. It wasn't per se bad. Like, I don't want to say it was bad, but it was also very all over the place. Like, that's why I'm also having problems like explaining to you guys what's happening, because, for example, when they had the whole past sequence, I didn't really understand that was even a past sequence. We see that Hajime was caught, and we see him put in prison, and then alongside him, next to him, is Son Goku. But at the same time, though, it's like, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, hey, we're in the past now. Did you notice? You didn't notice? And it just was really oddly paced. Like, I didn't hate this episode, mind you, but I also think it wasn't the best episode. So, bad pacing, that one inconsistency with the rod, that really pissed me off, and other issues made this episode probably one of the weakest parts so far of second season, to be honest. But I am curious what we're going to see from Enku, because he looks like a straight-up villain, and I'm very curious what he's going to, have in store for the gang. Anyways, guys and girls, I hope you enjoyed this I think, kind of confusing review in general. I don't have very much time, so I can't really edit too much, and I can't fix up certain things here and there. So I do apologize. It probably has a jump cut at one point, and also, I kind of had problems speaking in a few areas, but I am in a kind of hurry. So I will talk to you guys later. Have a great, great day, everyone. Bye bye.